Good morning, warriors of purpose and faith. Today, we are not talking about casual dreaming. We are talking about the unbreakable will, the decision deep in your spirit to never give up no matter what. This is true grit. Winston Churchill, facing the darkest hours of World War II, stood before Parliament and roared, "Never give in. Never, 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 in nothing great or small, large or petty. Never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense." He did not say never give up when it's convenient. He said never give in, period. Vision without this kind of grit is nothing more than a beautiful painting gathering dust. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team, later said, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game-winning shot and miss. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Hebrews 12 verse 1 to 2 gives us the biblical blueprint. Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that is so easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus and the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. Vision sets the destination. Never giving up supplies the endurance to reach it. Let's meditate on the oyster and the pearl in great depth. A tiny grain of sand enters the oyster shell and causes irritation. The comfortable response would be to expel it and live in peace. Instead, the oyster waited patiently and covers the irritation with layers and layers of nacre. The beautiful, indecent, priceless treasure. The oyster doesn't complain about the sand, it uses it. Every setback, every betrayal, every financial collapse in your life is that grain of sand. Your refusal to quit is a nacre that turns your greatest pain into your greatest testimony. Thomas Edison, laboratory burnt down to the ground when he was 67. He lost years of work. The next morning, he stood amidst the ashes and said, There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burnt up. Now we can start anew." He rebuilt and gave the world phonographic and motion pictures because he turned irritation into destination. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. He was bankrupt several times. Yet imagine a magical kingdom where families could escape into joy and wonder. He famously said, "If you can dream it, you can do it." He saw Disneyland completed in his mind long before the first brick was laid. The sanctified imagination, fueled by relentless perseverance, changed entertainment forever. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company, Apple, in 1985. He said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." He returned later and built the empire we know today because his vision outlasted his pain. Look at the life of Joseph again. Deeper this time. Betrayed, enslaved, falsely accused, forgotten in prison, 13 years of hell. Yet he rose to become the second in command of Egypt and saved the nation from famine. Why? Because the vision of his future was stronger than his present circumstance. Genesis 39 says, "The Lord was with Joseph. Even in prison, God was preparing the palace." I will tell you today, the Lord is with you, even in your financial struggle, even in your hurt, even in your pain, even through your storm. God is preparing a place for you. With true grit, with a little bit more perseverance, keep holding on. Your vision will bring about your destination. Another powerful analogy. The mountain climber reached the summit of Mount Everest. It was not about one heroic leap. It was about thousands of small steps, small disciplined steps, often in building snow and freezing wind with oxygen so thin your lungs burn. Sir Edmund Hillary did not quit when the oxygen ran low or when the slopes seemed impossible. He kept putting one foot in front of the other, resting only to rise again. Every step was a declaration. I will not be stopped. Your dream is your Everest. Vision shows you the peak. Imagination helps you see the path. Never giving up keeps your feet moving. When every muscle screams stop, Nelson Mandela, after 27 years, he became president and said, "It is always seems impossible until you're done." He climbed his own Everest of injustice one day at a time. I encourage you, put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Make each step be a declaration to the enemy, to your haters, and to your friends that I will make it, that I will never give up. I have a question. Do you possess what I call true grit? Romans 5 verse 3 to 5 says, "We all glory in our suffering because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. And hope does not put us to shame." Your current struggle is not punishing you. It is producing something eternal inside of you. I challenge you today. Write the vision down. Make it plain, as Habakkuk 2:2 says, and commands. Speak it daily. Fuel it with imagination. Then wrap every disappointment in the nacre of perseverance. One day, you will hold the pearl, look back at the journey, and say, "Joseph, God meant it for good." Oprah Winfrey, fired from her job, unfit for TV because she was too emotional, never gave up. Today, she's a global icon because her grit turned rejection into a platform that inspired billions. You may be in your prison season right now. You may be in the depths right now. You may have been fired from your job. You may not see the breakthrough. You may be at your breaking point. The voices may be louder than your vision, but the same God who delivered Joseph is working for you. Fix your eyes upon Jesus. Keep moving. Never, never, never give up. I can tell you today that it takes one step to make it. It takes another step to break it. And it takes another step to show you the way. Your imagination, the preview to life's coming attractions. Your imagination, the power to show you the path. Your imagination, what should keep you going on. Vision, what should keep you moving forward. Your life is not at the end. It only ends when you can see the end. I must tell you today that if you have vision and if you can imagine it, hold true with what we call true grit. Grit is the old-time word for perseverance, for holding on. When you hold on and hold firm to the things that God has placed inside of you, what we call vision, it will change your life. You will never be the same ever again. Take your time this week to like, share, and comment. Tell somebody about your vision, and guess what? They will look at you and say, "It's impossible." And if they can tell you that it's possible, then your vision is not big enough. If they can see it, then you have not used God any at all. Your vision has to be bigger than you for God to step in. Your vision has to be greater than you for God to use you. This is what you need. You need to hand over everything, but write it down and make it plain so that he who reads it runs to it. Habakkuk 2:2 says, this is where we must do. When you write it down, read it to yourself every day in the mirror. Tell yourself, I am more than a conqueror. Tell yourself, I will make it. Tell yourself, I will break through. Tell yourself that I am victorious. And because you're victorious, because you're more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ, who loved us and gave himself for us, you're gonna make it. Put your vision down, run to it, never give up. Hold fast, using what you have. I see the true grit in you. I see the true grit for your family. I see the true grit that will build things and that vision for generations. And the world will look back and say, he did it because he never gave up. She did it because she never gave up. You are a man or woman of true grit. Be blessed.